So as you guys know, if you watched my previous video, you will know that a lot of stuff has been going on recently in my life and just everything has been blown out of the water. I've gone really busy. I'm also doing my room up as we speak and I'm getting a new setup, so I don't really have time to make a full in-depth review of the Batman or make a video essay type video, which I usually would. However, I might do at some point in the future if I find something that's worth talking about. However, I'm just going to give my quick thoughts in this video here because I really love this film. This isn't just a good superhero movie. This is a great movie. You know, the cinematography, you've got Matt Reeves directing it, and he's a brilliant director. You could just tell this was going to be a great movie. However, let's get into the characters. The characterization of Batman was absolutely incredible in this movie. They took the detective Batman that we've never seen in any of the other prior films and put him to the forefront of this movie. Him and Jim Gordon trying to solve the Riddler's puzzles and his crimes was absolutely insane, and it was so much fun to watch. I loved this movie and how they handled that. Also, something I do want to say about this is that Bruce Wayne in this movie definitely took a backseat, and it's something we haven't seen from Bruce Wayne before, because Bruce Wayne usually is that, you know, trying to put on a facade because, you know, Bruce Wayne is Batman, but he has to put on a facade to be Bruce Wayne so he can cover up the fact that he is actually Batman. But in this movie, Bruce Wayne and Batman feel very much like the same person. However, I don't think that's too much of an issue. I think with this current Batman that we've got right now and the adaptation from the comic books and everything else that has come beforehand, I think this Bruce Wayne fits this Batman absolutely perfectly. I think it works very well with the tone of this movie and the city and the placement of this film within the world that we are set in, within Gotham, within everything. It just seems right that this would be the Bruce Wayne that this world, this Gotham would produce for us. So therefore, I don't think that's too much a big of an issue, but everything else is absolutely phenomenal. I love Jim Gordon. He is now my definitive Jim Gordon. Jeffrey Wright, you did an absolutely amazing job. I stan over Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon now. The Riddler was amazing, but you could tell that they took a lot of inspiration from the Joker to pull into this character, and that's absolutely fine because I'm totally down and I'm completely okay with taking parts from other villains to make a villain for your specific movie. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. However, I do want to say one thing is if they do want to do the Joker in a future movie like Batman 2 or Batman 3, then I do think that this is a problem because they've kind of used a lot of tropes from the Joker in this villain. And obviously, spoilers now, obviously this is a spoiler review anyway, so I don't, you know, just in case you didn't know that, Joker did make an appearance in the film. This was one of the scenes that I felt was a little shoehorned in there, just because maybe it's a Batman thing and we have to have the Joker. I didn't think the Joker was going to show up just because the film was so far strayed away from that element of Batman that I didn't think they were going to go there. But they ended up going there anyway in one scene. And I did think it was a little shoehorned in, yeah. But I think it was a cool little Easter egg, a cool little reference. Obviously, they're setting up him to be the big bad of possibly the second or third movie in this trilogy. So, I don't know. Why not? Cool, but he didn't need to be there. Once again, like I did say, I don't know how they're going to do that because the Riddler was very Joker-ish. Obviously, they could completely do a curveball and then do the Joker differently, but I think it's hard to kind of get the ideological side of the Joker's character in there if you do him any differently than he has done before, because Joker's such like a very touchy character. Like, it's hard to play around with him and still kind of get what he's about. With Batman, you can do different things. It's still quite hard, but with the Riddler, a character like the Riddler, there's a lot of room to work with there, if you get what I mean. It's like Spider-Man. You can't change the fact that he has to learn great responsibility one way or another, whether it's through Uncle Ben or Aunt May like it was in No Way Home. You can't change that about the character because then that doesn't mean they are Spider-Man. The same way in which you can't change a lot about the Joker because then he isn't the Joker. However, villains like, for example, Shocker, you can change him a lot, you can twist him because there's not much that ties him down to being that iconic character. The same goes for the Riddler. There's a lot about that character that is iconic, yes, but there's a lot that you can twist and use to your own advantage to make him something new and something fresh. However, this is where the Joker comes into my point, is that you can't twist and turn the Joker in ways that make him not the Joker or more of the Joker without ruining what his character already stands for. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. The Joker's a hard character to play around with, so the fact that they took a lot of Joker stuff for the Riddler in this movie really worries me for how they might handle the Joker in future movies. However, what can I say? I don't know. I don't know enough about what they're doing with the future movies to tell you anything about this, so we'll just have to wait and see. Yes, the Riddler was awesome. Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon was awesome. Robert Pattinson, amazing performance as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Zoe Kravitz did an amazing Catwoman as well, and I'm not going to lie to you, I really enjoyed Catwoman in this movie. Going in, I thought I wasn't going to enjoy Catwoman in this movie, but I very much did. Colin Farrell as Penguin, that's not Colin Farrell. Bloody hell. Like, if you showed a picture to me of this movie, Colin Farrell in this movie, and went, who's that? I wouldn't be able to tell you it's Colin Farrell unless I knew it was him. But yeah, this movie overall was just amazing. The character arc for Batman was really good, and one that I think works really well with the character as well. How he goes from being this person who wants to instill fear within all of his victims to then someone who wants to bring hope to the city, and I think that's something that we've missed from previous Batman iterations. So I'm really glad that they had that character arc for Batman in this movie, and I think with the Riddler it works really well as well. Because in the end, the Riddler is also trying to instill fear within his victims, the same way that Batman is trying to instill fear within his victims. And then obviously once they realise that they are more alike than they realise, Batman realises that his job is to give hope and not to instill fear. Because obviously at the end, Gotham needs hope. Because the entire city's flooded, loads of people are dead, the city needs hope now more than ever. And it's a battle of those ideologies. However, he is doing the right thing but going about it the wrong way. In which by the end of the film, he realises hope is definitely what this city needs one way or another. It doesn't need people giving false hope. It doesn't need the corrupt underground crime bosses ruining everyone's lives. It needs hope. It needs to be shown that everything will be okay. When one of the Riddler followers at the end said, you know, they are vengeance, I think that's kind of when Bruce realised, like, you know, I need to be hope. I need to show these people that this is going to be okay. So I'm really glad they had that character arc for Batman in this movie, and it really made me happy that they did that. And also the cinematography, that's something that 5 out of 5, you know what I mean? Cinematography was absolutely insane. I don't know how, but this movie, every single shot, I remember this is like the first movie in a very long time that had me going, wow, at almost every other shot. And not a lot of movies do that, but just the way they played around with the lighting, the oranges and the reds and the blues and the darkness. Most of this film is set at night time. However, a lot of the scenes are shot with a very dim lit orange light or a red tinge or a blue glow. And it's usually from police sirens, from lampposts, and maybe even the sunset. However, it makes it look really beautiful. And I think the main colour of this movie being red really helped this movie visually. Like, the cinematography is absolutely incredible, and I really appreciate it. Like, I think from a filmmaking perspective, I think this film in times to come will be a film that many people will study, many people will look at in terms of visual imagery, visual cinematography, and just looking at it in a technical level and how well it really represents its characters and the lighting, and just I could just go on all day about the cinematography, to be honest. Not to mention, Michael Giacchino has had 2 bangers in a row, my guy. No Way Home was his best soundtrack and still is. The Batman is a close second. Oh my god, the Batman theme. It's still in my head. It won't go away. Ever since I saw the movie, it's not going away. But yeah, this movie was absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. That has been it for my little review of the Batman. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit a like on it. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. Spider-Man video coming soon, I promise. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 Pre-Write Part 1 is coming very soon, so look out for that. Without me said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.